Hi, this is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor, and I'm glad that you've joined me this morning. It's a Monday morning, and in South Carolina, it is now sitting at 41 degrees. It's a cold morning. I had to take my sweater off because I can't wear a sweater while I'm doing a podcast. I have to look good, and I look good. I really do. Listen, over the past few years, I have given this lecture time and time again, but I have to do it every single year that we get close to a political campaign and to a political election, because people think that they can come to the office and just spout out their political beliefs and who they're going to support, who they want you to vote for. I'll give you a good example. I got a email one morning, and they requested that I settle a conflict or settle a dispute between three employees. First of all, let's look at what a conflict is. A conflict, a serious disagreement or argument, typically a protracted one. The external conflict, the internal conflict between the sexes. Now, that's part of what a conflict is, but it's also a conflict between employees. It could be on religion, it could be on different beliefs, or it could be a healthy one on work processes and other things like that. So there can be a good conflict and there can be a bad conflict. Politics is a bad conflict. Now let's look at what the definition of a dispute is. It's a disagreement, argument, or debate, a territorial dispute between the two countries, as an example. But it's a dispute. It's a heavy laden debate and argument that people have within the office. Now, the only problem with political disputes is they become highly escalated. Escalated. I can't talk this morning. I'm sorry, guys. So let me tell you about my story. I got this email, and the email said we have, and it was from the manager of the company. And she says, listen, I have three employees that I really like as employees. They do a great job, and I want to keep them. The only problem is two of the employees wanted to get another employee fired. The dispute was over political beliefs, political agendas. They did not agree with this one individual, and they wanted him kicked out of the company. I've told this story before, but I have to repeat it every year because it happens time and time again. So politics crept into the office. One side was liberal, the other side was conservative. Liberal did not like the conservative views or the person he was going to vote for. They wanted him fired just because of his views. Now, what is the issue that we had here? The company did not have a policy that described how politics are not to be brought in or solicited in the office. And that's where the problem began, because the company did not have a policy. We had to resolve the dispute and the conflict between the three employees, and then understand that all employees have to live within this rule of no politics in the office. A good example of no politics in the office that should have happened would be Mike Lindell in his mypillow.com. He got involved in politics, and it disrupted the whole entire business, where he literally lost clients from it. He lost employees from it. He had disputes and conflict within the office. He had it outside the office. It was coming at him every which way, and it still is. You never bring politics into the office because it damages the company greatly. Let me tell you how much it costs. Okay, this is from a study. It's in this study, they found that U.S. employees spend 2.8 hours each week dealing with conflict, which comes to 359 billion in paid hours, based on an average wage of 17.95 in companies across the country. Other costs of relationship conflicts within the company also include poor morale and lack of productivity that comes from this conflict. When you have a political conflict within the office, or any type of conflict within the office, it divides people because they're not quite sure who they can talk to. If you've got a conflict with Mary Jane and a conflict with Billy Bob, and they're going back and forth, I probably shouldn't have used that sign. But anyway, if they're going back and forth, in conflict and disputes, the people around them don't know who they should follow or what they can say, and productivity slows way down because of this conflict. Conflict wastes a lot of money. And so when you have political conflict, you have a problem. So what you need to have and understand is that there needs to be a political policy in your HR handbook, and it should be posted everywhere because politics drives conflict. Look at Congress. Politicians, conflict every single day, disputes every single day, name calling every single day. They can't resolve anything because they've allowed a political agenda to take control over what the needs of the people are. And we have the same problem in the office or in a company where political conflict is causing this divide, and you don't want that to happen. So employers are typically permitted to prohibit employees from campaigning or distributing political material while at work on work hours. Such non-solicitation policies should be enforced consistently for political and non-political purposes. So when you have this conflict building, you've got this campaign and this election coming up in 2024, you're going to hear a lot about politics. End it in your office because it's going to create conflict. If I have to repeat the word conflict 10,000 times, I'm going to do it because it wastes so much time. It divides employees. It shuts down the productivity of the company. It shuts down trust issues between the individuals. Listen, not everybody's going to believe or endorse your political views or your political agenda. When you come into the office, you're there to sell XYZ, to make XYZ, to service XYZ clients, not to spread your political views around like gospel and create conflict between many different types of individuals. Look at what happened to mypillow.com. Buyers from different companies stopped buying from them because there became this cancel culture this happens in the office too. You get a cancel culture. I want to cancel them out. I want to fire them. I want them hacked. I want them moved to a different company, to a different department. So there's to shut down these people on what they believe politically is in disagreement with the other individual. They want them canceled out. They want them gone. And this cancel culture, or what we are now calling also wokeness, is very dangerous to a company and to your clients. That's why I would never have a client come into my office and say, well, you know what? That Biden or Pelosi or McCarthy or whoever that I'm mad at that day politically, if I said that to my client, they'd say, whoa, wait a minute. I came to discuss business, not politics. So a conflict begins. And I'm probably not going to have them as a client very long because I put my political views on the table in front of them, and it had a whole bunch of mustard and ketchup on it, and they don't like that. So to end this, remove the conflict, remove the political talk, now a lot of you are going to say, well, it's freedom of speech. Listen, you as an employer have the ability to shut down politics in your company, and you should do it starting today. Right? Sit down with your HR department or your a corporate attorney and write a political policy that covers everyone in the company evenly and equally. So if you do that, you are going to stop conflict and disputes very quickly. And if you're doing it, if you own the company, or if you're the president or CEO or CFO, whoever you are in a leadership position, stop promoting your politics. Focus on your company, on your business, on your employees. If you want to get involved in your community, get involved. There's so many hungry people out there that they need food. There are people that need tents. There are people that need medical service. There are people who don't even have a tent or any place to sleep. We can't keep pushing politics and not address the issues in our own community and try to help out. By the way, if you're a member of the if you believe in the Salvation Army, if you believe in the Red Cross, start donating, because people need help during the Thanksgiving and during the Christmas holidays. But focus on your community. If you really want to make a difference, all this national politics is not going to make a difference in your city or your community. But you can, because you have the power, you have the ability to do something great. If you have a business question, send it to me at thebusinessadvisor@gmail.com. If you would like to sit down with me and talk about business issues or conflict, you can book me online at www.lodge-co.com. And if you look right here, right down below there, all the information is there. Everybody go out and have a great day. Talk to you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.